This is a Dancing Stickman production. Content warning. This series contains potentially upsetting themes, including mind control, harm to children and animals, and death. As the lightning flashes, you see a figure standing at the mouth of it with a long cloak and waving hair. You can't see the face, it's just a silhouette, but there's a figure and it's pointed towards the three of you at the house.
Everyone, someone is at the shrine and is looking at us. We need to go now.
As you look again, the figure has disappeared.
Oh my fucking god. I'm so scared, guys.
Are either of you, visibly scared after staying?
Yes, she has yelled this out to you guys and say, we need to go. There is someone at the shrine.
Emmett hears that and is so used to hearing, we have to go, and just starts scrambling, maybe is at the door. Doesn't leave yet, but is like, let's go. I'm scared, let's go.
Naya, you have to bring the book. We gotta go now.
All right, Naya packs up the book, stands up.
Do you pack the other notes with you too?
Oh, absolutely. All the notes. All the notes that we've got.
Love it.
Grabs the quarterstaff and says, to the shrine. Let's go.
Not to the shrine, I think.
Not to the shrine?
There was a person in front of the shrine, and I don't know. They've gone, and I don't know where they've been, but they could be waiting for us. I don't know if it's safe. And then I'm going to also say, Liev, my guardian, is supposed to come here, but I feel like we have to go. And I think Naya can see that Ofelia is visibly scared.
Why are you so shooken up? What happened?
I was looking towards the shrine. There was a person, and I described cloak, long hair. I don't recognize this figure. And then they were looking towards us.
Actually, give me a history check.
Me?
Yeah, you. Or history or perception.
It's I'm at a disadvantage still, right?
Yeah, you're still at disadvantage, sorry.
Oh shit, I rolled 16 twice, guys.
Wow.
20.
Yes,
20.
Let's go.
The figure is not entirely unfamiliar to you.
Okay. In a good way?
It looks like it might have been Uneza.
Then I'm gonna say we have to go, guys. I think I see Uneza, is what I will say, and then I'm gonna make my way towards the door to head out there.
Do we even know what happened in here? With everything thrown around?
Emmett, no, we do not. But if Ofelia says that she saw Uneza, I think we need to make our way over there. She's trapped. We need to help her.
So she was standing there very scarily, and then lightning crashed, and then she was gone?
Emmett stayed on point.
She's a very powerful witch, Emmett.
Okay.
You're so right. It's so weird. It's so creepy. I know. Don't worry.
Okay. Can you go ahead?
I'll take points. Naya stands up, packs all of the items that she gathered from the box, grabs her quarterstaff, and starts booking it towards the cave.
And I'll probably be running with Emmett as well, near her side.
All right, so to get to the cave, as you recall, there's water to cross to get there. It's currently low tide, but there's a storm raging right now. The cave is about 20 feet up on the cliff face. So because it's low tide, it's very rocky down at the water level. So it's not like you could boat across. The storm is too strong anyhow. So you're gonna have to figure out a way to actually get into the cave of the Tideborn Shrine. So I need you guys to tell me how it is you're gonna get from this isolated rock that you're on in the water over to the cave mouth.
Are you also saying that I potentially can't water walk?
I mean, I'm not saying you can't water walk, but is water walk gonna get you up?
Oh, yeah. When you said low tide, we are, okay. That's what I wanted to talk about the physics of the situation.
Yeah, the physics are you're gonna have to cross ocean, rocky, turbulent ocean water, kind of the bay, but kind of the ocean. And then you're gonna have to get up a sheer cliff face to the mouth of the cave.
How far is this from us?
120 feet.
Is there any bridges or anything?
There's only the bridges that you crossed that get from the point of Claw Tip to the hut. There's nothing that gets you straight to the mouth of the cave.
Got it. And obviously boat would be too dangerous.
Is anybody looking up at the cave?
Can I?
After the next peal of lightning strikes and everything goes dark again, you see very faintly a kind of sickly blue-green glow coming from the cave.
Can you guys look at this?
Huh? I look over to whatever Emmett's looking at.
Is Jarvis around here?
Yeah, Jarvis is with you.
Yeah, I point at the shrine to everybody. but also I just want to make sure Jarvis is a part of everything. I give him a little scratch. You guys see that?
Does that look familiar? Like, we've seen Yuneza cast magic before. Does that aura look like hers?
But when you were in there with her, there were 2 braziers lighted, and it was like a regular, normal orange, reddish fire. So the fact that it's a weird blue-green color, it seems like something's wrong. And more than that, it feels like something's wrong, magically.
Something is not good about this. I'm gonna just turn to everyone and say, I just remember when we were trying to get out, Liev made me fly. I feel like perhaps I can do that, but I just want to know, is that something you guys want to do?
Maybe, but for the cantrip message, do I have to see my target? Because it can go through solid stuff or in through openings, and it's a range of 120 feet.
No, you do not have to be able to see them. They just have to be within range.
If I think that Yuneza is in there, can I at least try to cast it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I'm going to say, are you okay?
The message you get back is,
let's go to the shrine. I whispered to Yuneza because she is in there. We have to go. Let's go. We can fly. I'm fine with flying. She wants us to help her.
I'm stressed right now.
Me too.
I'm wondering if I give the above the table thing of what I'm thinking, but maybe it's even a character thing as well. I don't really know, but I feel like Yuneza is corrupted in some way. I'm pretty sure she's been stabbed with the same dagger. That's my thought right now. But what I started to dance around is I have spider climb.
ooh.
Also saying this above the table, and I think that that'd be weird, and I definitely want to use it. Now I'm back in character. So I'll say Ofelia. I don't know how many people you can cast climb on, but help Emmett. Carry Emmett, fly and carry Emmett, and I'll spider climb down.
Because we've already established that Emmett is lightweight and that, she could fit onto the elk with you, if you cast fly on yourself and wanted to carry her, I would allow that.
I'll go ahead and do that. I'll remember the feeling that I had with Liev, and I'm going to think I need to get to Yuneza, and I'm just going to touch myself, and I'm going to cast fly.
And then Naya, do you make your way down back to the bridges and try to get over to where the shrine cave is?
Absolutely.
Lovely. So I think it takes Naya a little bit longer just because she's moving overland and you guys have a straight shot. So Emmett and Ofelia, you arrive at the mouth of the cave first. Do you proceed in or do you wait for Naya to come with you?
Can I do a perception check around the mouth of the cave?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
But I think for Ofelia, as Emmett is doing that, is feeling uneasy with the colors of the fires. And so she is going to wait for Naya.
You don't see anything, Emmett.
Yeah.
It looks like the same cave. Like there's a path in and then a climb up a dank, wet rope ladder. The actual platform that the circle and the altar and the statue are on is above you and out of sight. But that same sickly blue-green glow is coming from above where the shrine circle is.
I'm going to, just real quick, healing word is okay. I'm going to put healing word on myself, or if I can do it on other people, then that's cool too.
If you guys want to get hit points back, yeah, you can do that. You and Ofelia both took some damage from the elk.
How much damage do we heal from again?
You get 1d4 plus your spellcasting ability modifier. I'm not sure what your modifier is. It's your wisdom. Isn't it like 3 or 4?
For me?
Yeah, yours.
Yeah, I have 3.
Okay, so it'll be 1d4 plus 3, and yeah, go ahead and roll that Emmett.
So that's 4, 5, 6, 7.
Ooh.
Lovely.
So I want to know what your magic is like when you heal people, Emmett.
Thinking about when I revived Sprout, I think my magic is very warm. It's very cold out right now because there's a raging storm and it's raining and it's thundering.
You guys are wet. You guys are all wet now.
But because healing word is a word and it's not really, it's not touch, is it?
No, it's not. You can do it just by seeing.
By seeing, I look at the people that I want to heal. I think in my heart and in my brain, I'm thinking of them as people that I care about, and like my heartbeat becomes way more obvious, and it's almost like my heart is hot for a second as that heat spreads around to the places where I'm hurt.
Oh.
And it does the same for the people that I can see. And I'm like, I hope you're okay.
That was a really nice description.
Tegan.
No.
All right. So you guys are waiting for Naya, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So Naya, when you spider climb down, you actually fall forward onto your front, and as you go vertical, you're going head down into the cave. You crawl actually into the ceiling.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Oh God.
You like come around onto the ceiling and then drop down beside them.
Naya's gonna take this opportunity to do a little tiny little jump scare and like silently drop down onto the ground and then just tap both Ofelia and Emmett on the back and be like, "Boo."
Oh my God.
Wow, y'all really need to get better at this. Like, you need to perceive your surroundings. We're gonna work on this. It's okay.
I'm gonna get you.
Ophelia's just gonna glare at Naya. She's already so scared. I'm gonna just tell everyone, redundant to say, but I definitely think we should be quiet. I have a very uneasy feeling about this.
Absolutely.
Can I cast invisibility on myself real quick?
Yeah, for sure.
Smart.
Cool. I'm gonna do that.
As always, now that Emmett has gone invisible, let's see if I actually have the spell slot for this. Oh, I didn't prepare that. Okay, that's fine.
Well, you're not in a combat situation right now, so if you have the spell slots available, you can cast it.
I have 1, 2 level slot. Yeah, I'll cast it.
So you have an eye on Emmett.
Yep.
Ophelia, you cannot see Emmett.
Yes, but I trust them. I mean, I have to.
I touched Ophelia's arm.
Ophelia's not having a great day or a great night.
Perfect. Okay. So yeah, I think Naya's going to take point and probably be the first one to go up the ladder just to make sure that it's still taut and all that good stuff.
Yeah, the ladder is still attached. It's still gross because it's a rope ladder, and it's slimy because sometimes it's submerged in the water. So it doesn't smell great in here. As you move up and come up above this ledge that the ladder leads up, you can see that this blue-green glow is actually coming from the stone dais of the circle itself. It's not coming from the braziers, which are unlit. It's actually coming from the circle. And the circle is cracked in two. Where before, when you were here before training with Uneza, it was whole, but now it has been broken in two.
Ophelia probably would have taken actually the back because she wants to keep Emmett in the middle just in case.
The real question is Emmett in between us?
When you get up there, Emmett, where do you position yourself?
I am going to be almost right up behind Naya
Okay.
because I want to like peer around her and look at everything. How big is the crack in the circle?
It goes all the way through it.
All the way through it?
It's about a 10-foot diameter circle, and the crack goes all the way through it.
And it's like kind of a thin crack?
It's like when there's an earthquake and the asphalt breaks apart. That's what it looks like.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
That's unpleasant.
Truly.
Is there anybody in here?
Not that you can see. Yeah.
Not that we can see? Okay.
Ophelia's gonna have also come up beside Naya cautiously, and she's gonna look around and say, I don't understand. Where did Uneza go?
I wonder if it's because the circle's been broken.
Well, we know she's still alive. I guess I'm just confused because she wasn't in her hut. I mean, I don't know. We need to fix this.
Naya's gonna walk towards the center of the cracked circle.
Be careful, Naya.
You're going to actually step onto it?
Absolutely.
Before Naya does that, can I cast guidance on her?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
Okay, so you can one time roll d4 and add that to one of your ability checks.
Yeah, so whenever you need it.
Oh, I'm so scared, guys.
Okay, Naya, you step onto the platform of the circle. The direction you're going in to get onto it, you are actually facing the altar and the statue, where before, when you were with Uneza, she showed you how to mend the statue, make an offering at the altar, and empower the circle by casting magic upon it. The statue looks fine. It looks like it's in perfect order. It looks just like it did when Emmett mended it the last time you were here. But there is, on the altar, Not a lot, but just kind of a splash of blood. And as you turn around, your see invisibility kicks in, and you see Yuneza drop from the ceiling behind you. Now, Emmett and Ofelia don't see this, but you see her face crack into a wide smile. Unnaturally large smile. Her skin wrinkles like putty folding in on itself. And she moves, and she goes and she strikes Ofelia in the back with a glaive. She isn't intending to injure, but to push. That's going to be a melee strength attack. She's using her glaive. It is, let's see, +7 to hit using her strength. Can you just remind me what your AC is, Ofelia?
It's not that high. It is going to be a 13.
Okay, yeah, that hits. So she's making a shove attack, and she's pushing you into the circle as well.
Emmett, but it feels not like Emmett, and I am gonna, I'm just scared as I get shoved in.
You stumble forward into the circle, and as you do, it lights up with that sickly blue-green glow. It's not a bright color, it's a dark color. It's the color of the lights of those creepy fish in the deep ocean.
I'm gonna look around and because Ofelia just got shoved, and I'm gonna look in the direction of
wherever that may have come.
Yeah.
You don't see anything.
I feel freaked out, and I kind of step back. I'm gonna distance myself from that.
You step back towards a wall of the cave.
Towards a wall instead of the circle. Can I cast shield on myself?
You can, but actually, let's have everybody roll initiative, just so we are in initiative.
I am stressed. 16.
My initiative is an 11.
Oh, I guess I rolled twice and I got the worst one, so I got 15.
She's taken her surprise round. Okay, so she actually is going to go last, though. So it's going to be Naya first, and then Emmett, then Ofelia, and then Yuneza. So it's Naya's turn.
Amazing. So, one, she's going to just say, Yuneza is invisible. She does not look like herself. That's the first thing I'm going to say. The second thing I'm going to do is cast haste on myself.
Good move. That's one action. Get another one.
Mm-hmm. And then where is Yuneza in relationship to where I'm at right now?
So if you came up and were facing the altar and have turned around 180, that's where she is. It's kind of along the ledge that leads up to this platform that you guys are on. And then as you're facing Yuneza, Emmett is off to the right, pressed against the back of the wall of the cave. She's backed up, so she's still fairly close to the edge, but she's backed towards where the wall rings this space that you're in. She's like near one of the braziers, one of the unlit braziers.
Okay. I'm going to use command on her, and I'm going to tell her to stop.
I would love to resist that.
I'll go ahead and cast it at 3rd level. Why not?
She fails.
Fantastic.
She just freezes.
Does her invisibility drop?
No.
Damn it.
Her invisibility does not drop. But she's not attacking. So that was haste plus command.
Right, so those are my 2 actions.
Those are 2 actions. Now, anything else?
How far is she from me in terms of feet?
Maybe at most 15 feet.
I'm going to walk up to her.
As you try to penetrate the edge of the circle, you run into a barrier.
Real life, personal Ashlyn. Fuck. Okay, carry on. Makes sense. It totally makes sense. I deserve that. Carry on.
Yeah. Yes, so you cannot move outside of this circle.
Right.
And
Okay.
Ophelia's in there with you.
Oh. Hey, girl, hey.
So both Naya and Ofelia are in the circle?
Yes, because Naya stepped in willingly and Yuneza just pushed you in.
Got it. Okay.
Okay, Emmett, it's your turn.
I'm gonna see this. What does she look like first and foremost? Like, I know she has a big creepy. Well, I don't know. Actually, I can't see her. Never mind.
She's frozen in place, but you don't even know that because you don't even know where she is.
So I don't know where she is. Do I have to see somebody to cast a curse on them?
It depends on which curse it is.
Bestow curse.
If you want to do bestow curse, you could ask Naya where she is because she's not moving.
Where is she?
Oh, perfect, because I can see both of them, actually.
Yes, you can see both of them.
And I attempted to walk towards Yuneza. So I should be right past the barrier. I'm like, I can't move past this barrier, but she's right in front of me in this general direction. And I point.
I'm gonna walk in that direction to the best of my ability.
You bump into something you can't see.
A big shiver goes through my body, and I just put my hand on her, or whatever's in front of me, and I use Bestow Curse.
Okay, I get to make a wisdom save. Your spell save DC is 14, correct?
Yeah.
All right. She passes. It does not work.
Okay, so that's my action. So Naya and Ofelia are stuck in this circle now, it seems.
Yeah, they're trapped.
So I am going to... I guess I'll just move out of the way. I'm going to move, not back to the place I just was, but I am going to move, like, behind her, the invisible lady I just bumped into. Uh-oh, is Bestow Curse concentration?
It is.
Yes. So my invisibility...
Oh, your invisibility dropped!
That's okay. I'm still going to move behind her, and I'm going to... Can I do a stealth check to see if I can hide anywhere?
Hide is a bonus action.
Let me double check that just to be sure, but I think yes.
Well, it's a bonus action for rogues.
It's a bonus action for rogues, so no, you can't hide.
It was
Darn.
like, wait.
Yeah, your invisibility dropped and now you can't hide, and you are the last one left outside of the circle.
You're our only hope, Emmett.
I'm just going to say, Yuneza, are you there?
She's been told to stop, so she's frozen, but you see that smile, Naya. You see it get even wider. It's like splitting her cheeks open.
What in the Joker hell is this?
So I don't get a response, but Naya can see this. I'm just scared.
That's Emmett, now it's Ofelia.
This is, I think, also DM discretion, but I'm assuming after Naya points out where Yuneza is, can I cast light in the same shape like the fireflies and have it like stick on the person of Yuneza? That way I can see where the person is. They won't illuminate her face, but just give me a general sense of her.
That is cute.
Okay, yes, you can, but she can do a dexterity save to avoid it. And we'll say that it's a magical avoidance since she can't move right now, since she's stopped. So let me do a dex check against your spell save DC, which is 15. And her dex is not good. But she makes it. You reach out and you try to get this light on her, but whatever it is that has changed her, what actually happens is the fireflies fly away from it.
Well, that's even more creepy. So Ofelia is going to actually try to move, because she didn't see Naya attempting that. So she's going to try to move away from where Yuneza is and try to get out of the circle, which is that more near towards the dais?
It would be towards the altar. You're on the dais. If you move towards the altar and the statue, that's the opposite direction of where Yuneza is.
Okay, then that's probably where I would go and I'd try to get out.
Okay. You'd end up hitting the same barrier that Naya's hit. So the two of you are trapped in a 10-foot diameter stone circle. It's Yuneza's turn. Am I allowed to resist command after one turn?
That's a good question. Let's find out.
I believe so.
It's one round. Did you just cast it this round?
Yes, she did.
Okay, so she can't do anything. On her next round, though, then she can. This'll end.
Right.
Yes.
So then that means it's going to come back to Naya.
Okay. I think Naya's going to take a slightly different direction towards this, just thinking about her magical training. I'm going to turn to Ofelia and say, do you remember when we ran into the wolf and we cast magic circle within a kind of shrine? Maybe we need to do that as well. But we might actually need Emmett to get in here as well to do that. What do you think?
I mean, I think that's worth a shot.
Okay. I'm going to do something risky. I'm going to be like, Emmett, get in here. I think I'm going to hold my action because I think I want to cast Magic Circle, but I want to hold my action and I just want to shout to Emmett and say, get in the circle.
All right, Emmett's next.
Okay, so guess I hear that and I don't know what else to do because I can't see Yuneza and I'm not invisible anymore. So I I bump into Yuneza and I do my best to step into the circle.
When you do, that smile on Yuneza's face is as wide as you've seen it, Naya, and the glow underneath your feet pulses out with a sickly light. So Emmett's used her movement. Are you holding your action till she comes into the circle or until she does her whole turn?
Just till she moves into the circle to then just be like, let's try and cast Magic Circle. That's the thing that I want to tell everyone, and I'm going to cast Magic Circle.
You cast Magic Circle, and what strand are you connecting to right now to draw power to yourself to? And with the circle, when Yuneza taught you how to do this, the point of it was to connect the power of this place to the strand that the shrine is meant to honor and protect. So the strand of change.
Change, right.
What are you drawing on to draw change to you?
Naya can see that Yuneza is no longer who she remembers her as. And while she remembers having conversation with Yuneza and that change is a constant in this world, but not all change is good. And that this change, this morphing, this corruption, it looks like, is not something that Naya believes Yuneza should have and burden on her own. And so in an attempt to bring Yuneza back to some sense of herself, I think Naya is willing to share in that burden just a wee bit and take on a little bit of that change so that we can bring Yuneza back just a little bit so that we can figure out how to bring forth this connection.
That's very good. You call this power of change to you, and as you draw it into yourself, it's almost like you're drawing something out of Yuneza and into yourself and then into the circle below you. And as you do, you feel a pulse of power that is almost exactly the same as the one you felt on the day of the eclipse. And you are thrown out of the circle, and now you have access to your level 10 sheet. And you've taken 2 points of corruption. So you have now become much more powerful than you were just a second ago, but you've taken that corruption upon yourself. You've used the same number of spell slots, but now you have access to your level 10 features and spells.
That's crazy.
And 2 points of corruption.
Ooh.
As you draw this power out of Yuneza, because you can always change, but sometimes too you can change back. That smile, the smile doesn't go away, but you see something more human in her eyes. And it's terrified. That's your action. So you were thrown out of the circle, and actually, I'm going to have you take some bludgeoning damage as you hit the wall.
Damn.
Yeah, it hurt. So you bodily slam into the wall, actually into the altar, I think, since you were facing Yuneza.
Yeah.
As you hit the altar, you see that blood. And when you look back at Yuneza, you see she wears these light gray robes, and you see this, like, just a trickle of blood from her shoulder. There's a small cut in her robe that has been bleeding, and you can see in her shoulder that it has been running down her front. So bludgeoning damage, though, I actually don't know how that works when you hit a wall. I'm going to use it like falling. I'm going to roll 2d6.
Absolutely.
Because it's like you flew 20 feet. That's not bad. 7 points of damage to you.
7 points of damage. Still at 42 health.
It's, yeah, you're a tank. Okay, so now it's Emmett's turn to finish their turn.
Okay, so did Naya just cast Magic Circle?
She did. You two are still trapped inside. She was thrown out, but the two of you are still trapped. But what you see, too, is that the braziers have lit.
Okay, I'm gonna look to Ofelia and say, do we do that too? Are we also gonna do that?
I don't see any other way.
Okay, and I'm gonna cast Magic Circle, and I don't need that prepared, right?
No, you don't need that prepared. That's always prepared as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, Magic Circle.
I want to know, when Emmett thinks about change and draws it to her, what is she pulling to herself?
Well, she's thinking about how everything keeps changing. It's not just when she got her magic, but now things just keep shifting. Like, she was at Yuneza's for a while, and then she was at Igern's for a while, and then that got all messed up, and now they're here, and now Igern's gone, and now something scary is happening, and she's just thinking about how it's probably going to keep changing, and she's going to have to be more prepared, and that she's just going to have to toughen up, and she's going to have to get stronger from here on out, and she's just thinking about how she has to be better. She has to change because change keeps happening.
You draw on a sense of acceptance. And so that same darkness flows out of Uneza to you, but as it enters you, you feel to yourself that this is just part of the process. This is just part of what change does. And you are also thrown out of the circle, and you now also have access to your level 10 spell sheet, and you have now also taken 2 points of corruption.
Ooh.
Ofelia, you're the last one left.
Oh, this is going to be fun, by the way, because I don't have any spell slots left for a 3rd level spell, which is Magic Circle, which means when I draw into it, this is me reaching into corruption.
That's right. You don't have the ability. You've had a long day. You've had a really long day.
Ophelia, no.
It was an entire A24 film from beginning to end for me.
Been a bit of a bear. And now you are depleted. The reserves that you have are gone, but you know you need to be able to do this. And so you reach for power beyond what you usually use with your magic. So what is Ofelia thinking about while she thinks about bringing change to her?
It's a delving. She feels depleted, and she knows she has to do this thing because there's no other way. And I think in that hint of desperation, as she reaches inside of herself, she's digging deep, and this doesn't feel how it normally feels when she reaches in her magic, like when she was calling the elk to be her steed. This feels like the thorns she threw up for the mage, and there's a fear there. There's so many unknown things. There has been change, but this change has been so scary. But she knows that it is still going to happen. So I think as she reaches down to cast Magic Circle, it's almost like not a prayer, but more so a thought of, I just want for me, for us to be safe. And I think that's what she reaches for as she casts Magic Circle outside of her ability.
The change you draw on out of desperation. There's a sense of panic as you pull this darkness towards you, and you've reached further than you had before, so you will take 3 points of corruption. But as you cast Magic Circle, the runes glow and the stone comes back together and heals itself as you are also cast out of the circle. This darkness from Uneza is drawn to you, and she collapses. The 3 of you are left in this cave, and you now have this power swimming through you, but you've had to take on something darker in order to fix things, in order to change things back to how it was, in order to change Uneza back to how she was. What does it mean for each of you to become corrupt?
I think Emmett becoming more corrupted after having helped Uneza a little bit. I think for her, it means hardening herself. Like, she's always been a very bubbly, friendly kid because she's just a kid, and she has had a hard life, but she's always tried to be happy despite that. But with everything happening right now, and with how she feels like she needs to be stronger again, and because of that, she's kind of like closing herself off just a little bit more in order to just get through the situation that is happening right now.
I think for Naya, I think she is reminded of when she first left her village and how she's been there her entire life, but how quick the elders were to push her away out of this community for fear of corruption. And so I think for her, there's a slight kind of turning away from that community and embracing a witch community and like steeling herself towards that. And I think the fact that there's some residual resentment about this Church of Tyos, and how if they did not exist and magic users were not cleansed in the way that they've cleansed them, that none of this would actually be a problem. And so there's also some anger there as well.
As the darkness creeps over Ofelia from the corruption, I think the darkness settles as Ofelia is looking up from where she was tossed onto the roof of the cave. I think it's this sense of loss. She hasn't really had time throughout this entire trip from when she had received her power to now of really sitting with, okay, what exactly has happened? And I think as she thinks about Liev's words of, oh, your family is safe, I think there comes this bitterness of, okay, they're safe, but we can never go back to how we once lived. The sense of just, I can never be who I wanted to be before. My family can never be there again, live in our home. The loss, I think, just hardens itself into this weight of stone in her chest. And I think with that bitterness comes sort of similar to Naya, I think, an anger towards the church as well.
This was a victory. You've helped Uneza, who had helped you. You've restored the connection between change and the earth. You won. As you come to your senses, as you realize what is happening and what others are willing to do in the name of power for themselves, I think everybody gets a little quiet. So Uneza is unconscious. You're not totally sure how she's doing, but you believe, because her face has returned to normal, she looks exhausted, absolutely exhausted. As her face returns to normal and the tide is starting to come in, the three of you gather her together and, through what means you can, bring her back to her hut, settle her in bed, and make sure that she is safe and tucked away. But you know that Liev is on his way. What do the three of you do as you wait for him to arrive? How do you busy yourself in this place?
Emmett is going to just not talk to anybody. She's gonna like sit by herself, not even with Jarvis or anything. She's just gonna, she doesn't want to do anything.
Jarvis tries to walk up to you and snuggle on you. Do you push him away?
I don't push him away. I pet him, but I'm not gonna like spend time petting him.
Naya is going to just start picking up in Uneza's house. Just start cleaning up on her behalf. And she'll send Phobos outside to just kind of circle the area, keep an eye out, see if she sees anyone coming around.
Immediately after we settle in Uneza, Ophelia's sort of physician mentality will kind of kick in. So she will busy herself by checking in on Uneza and like checking her wounds.
Ofelia, upon tending to Uneza, you find a small octagonal shaped stone attached to the back of her neck. It is solidly in place. Do you attempt to do anything with it?
Can I see if it's the same as what I had sort of seen from the other encounters?
It looks exactly the same. It's very dark, so it does stand out. But you notice that it does have sharp edges and was shaped the way something made by people is shaped. And it does look like what you saw on the back of the neck of that woman in Tuvold.
And you said this just seems like, in terms of its appearance, like a gray stone. There's nothing adorning the stone?
Yeah, a dark gray stone.
I'm gonna just stare at it. I make a hand as if I want to touch it, but I pause after remembering what had happened with Tiberia. and her son. And so instead, I'm going to call out to the other two, and I'm going to say, guys, I think I found something on Yuneza.
What is it?
I think I know why her behavior has been so different than usual. I'm just going to point to the stone on the back of her neck. I don't know if you guys have seen this before, but I have. And I'm going to describe to them my brief encounter with Tiberia and their family. And I'm going to say, someone, I think, put this on Yuneza same way that they did it for Lady Tiberia. But this concerns me.
What material does this look like? Does this look like the same stone that I saw at the orphanage?
It does.
I recognize this. It looks like... Ofelia, do you know what that mineral you were talking about? What was that called again?
You mean the azolite?
Yeah, that... Have you ever seen that before?
I mean, no. The first time I've heard about it was when we found it.
I don't know. I'm not super familiar with rocks and stuff like that, but I don't know if all your circle was talking about it, and I don't know. I also saw these rocks at the orphanage that I was briefly in before I got my powers.
Are you saying this is azolite?
Maybe. It's possible. But it looks the same as the rock that I saw in the orphanage, so maybe we're all talking about the same thing, and this is that.
Emmett, you specifically saw other children, other orphans, being forced to shape this rock and carve it.
Okay, now that I think about it, yeah, this looks bad. This looks very bad. It looks exactly like the shaping that I was seeing at the orphanage. So, can I get a closer look at this, maybe?
As Emmett gets closer, I'm also going to warn her, just try not to touch the stone. For some reason, it makes them agitated.
I won't.
I was like, yeah, why can't we just remove it? It just looks like it's stuck on the back.
We tried. My father tried, but it changes their behavior. And granted, I know Yuneza's not conscious at the moment, but I just don't want to put you guys at risk, or us at risk.
This is weird. I don't like it.
Me too. I don't like this either.
Could I do a check or something?
You gotta tell me how close you're getting. Are you touching it?
No, I'm not touching it. My nose is like an inch, like 2 inches away from it, squinting.
Give me a perception check. Honestly, you still are exhausted right now, so it is with disadvantage, but give me a perception check. It's a low DC though. So if you can beat a 5, I can tell you some goodies.
That's a 6?
So you get real close. You get your eyes right up there, and what you can see as you look at where it is attached, Ofelia, I think you turn Yuneza up on her side a little bit so that Emmett can get in there. And what you can see, Emmett, it's octagonally shaped, almost round. Pretty thick, maybe a little over half an inch thick. And you can see as you kind of look to the side of it that it's actually not attached to Yuneza's skin. What you see is something at the center of it that's driving down into her. And that's how it's attached.
So it's like a sharp...
It's like a shunt.
A shunt?
I don't know that Emmett would know that word.
No.
It's like a needle.
A needle.
Is what is attaching it to Yuneza.
And I can see that with my eyes.
Just the barest hint of it, but you can see there's like a little bit of gap in between the stone and her skin. And in the center of that gap is something that is entering into her.
It's like a nail.
Yeah, like a nail.
I tell Ofelia that I can kind of like see that it's this shape. Did you notice this?
I'm gonna peer more closely and confirm what Emmett has said. If anything, this just goes to show that this obviously was intentional, but whoever did this also has some bit of medical skill like my father and I. Do I know if the clerics of Tyos are trained in the medical arts to do these sort of things?
You would know that. The clerics tend to also be healers. Yes, you would know that.
Well, I don't know if this is surprising, but it seems like the clerics of Taos have been up to more sinister things than we realized. But I don't know why and why now.
As you ponder what is going on, I think this takes you into your period of quiet as you wait for Liev to arrive. And it does take him some time. He cannot travel the way that Igern does, so he has to travel through whatever magical means he can. A bit slower than teleporting. He keeps you updated through messaging, and he does eventually arrive in the next 4 days. You show him Uneza, and as he sees her lying on the bed, breathing shallowly, unable to rouse to consciousness, you see him mourn his friend. He asks you about the stone at the back of her neck. He says, "Do any of you know anything of this? And have you seen anything like this before?"
I was quite as lost as you, Liev, but Emmett brought up the fact that she has seen this before, and we have good reason to believe that this might be a stone called azalite. Are you familiar with that?
I've heard of azalite in my circuit around the central towns of the valley because it's become a huge economic boon to some people. I was not aware necessarily what was being done with it, but have any of you tried to remove this?
I'm gonna turn to Liev and I'm gonna say, remember our time with Lord Magnus and Tiberia? The boy.
Your father told me that the boy was conscious when he attempted to remove it, and Uneza is not.
Yes, but I guess I just wasn't sure if she would wake up and become violent if we tried to remove it.
He holds his finger under her nose just to get a little bit of an idea of her breathing, and he goes, "I don't know that we can rouse her, but it would seem prudent to at least attempt to free her."
I mean, we definitely can try. I was actually waiting for you to arrive. I didn't want to put my friends at risk.
Certainly. Uneza's home here at Clawtip is hallowed. I will attempt to remove it. Why don't the three of you step outside, and that way, if anything happens, I will be the one to deal with it.
I can assist you if you would like. Someone needs to hold her down just in case.
He nods to you. Emmett, Naya, do you want to stay in or do you want to step out?
I think Naya would want to stay in, probably closer to the door just in case we would need to leave, and would probably prefer to keep Emmett closer to her and the door.
Yeah, I think Emmett would want to not leave, but just definitely is very, very curious about what's going to happen, so she's probably hiding behind Naya.
Oh, well, I'll put her in the cloak.
Cute. That's adorable. Oh, just her head poking out of the top.
Yeah, exactly. That's like,
all right, so Liev asks you, Ofelia, to help him turn Uneza over so she's on her front, so she's face down. And then, yes, he has you settle on top of her. He asks if you're okay with straddling her and holding her arms down.
I do so.
He puts his hand gingerly forward and touches that stone at the back of her neck. And there's no reaction. So, emboldened, he goes and he attempts to grasp it. Nothing happens.
Ophelia's watching intently.
Then he tries to pull, and Uneza screams. And the scream, it doesn't sound natural. It sounds distorted and crackly and electronic. Her back arches and she bucks, and it nearly throws you back, Ofelia. Actually, go ahead and give me a con save. At this point, you're not exhausted anymore. It's been a few days, and we'll do it against Uneza's con.
Oh, that's not great, but it's a 7.
She throws you off, and she starts bucking. She does not seem to be conscious, but so long as he is grasping and pulling on this, she is wrenching her body, and she sounds like she's in terrible pain. So he lets go immediately, especially after you fall over.
I'm gonna get him and say, no, Leif, pull it out.
He is a bit panicked after having seen this. He goes, I don't know if I can. She's not conscious. If I pull it out, it might kill her. He says, I have something I can do. We need to go to Hadari. Something is going on at the Shrine of the Calyx in Hadari, and I can't help her right now. So, Ofelia, I need you to help me, and I need you to learn this. This is something you need to learn how to do too. Please, can you wrap Yuneza in one of her blankets and gather your herbs together?
Has Yuneza quieted at this moment?
When he stopped pulling, she dropped.
Does it seem like, from what I've witnessed and peering down at once again where the stone is, does it seem like she will die if we take off the stone?
As far as you can tell, it is embedded in her spinal cord. Whatever that shunt is, it is in her, and whatever it is like he attempted to pull, and it did not come loose or free at all. It didn't come out. So whatever is in there, it's held in there.
Do I have any surgical tools with me?
I don't think so. I know you have some tools, physician tools. I don't know if they'd be surgical.
I have like a healer's.
You have an herbalism kit and a poisoner's kit and a forgery kit.
And a healer's kit.
What's in a healer's kit?
A healer's kit has bandages, salves, and splints.
So no, nothing to surgically do anything. After you wrap Yuneza in her blanket, he comes to her prone body and he slides his hand under her and he picks her up. Naya, he looks to you and asks you to open the door.
I do so.
And he leads the way out, carrying Yuneza. He crosses over the 2 rope bridges that connect her home to the land. He travels up the slope of the point and curves off to a small clearing where the ashen remains of a tree lay on the ground. And he places her gently at the front of this burnt tree. He starts praying. And as he mouths quietly, you can't exactly hear the words coming out of his mouth. Vines and moss creep over her body. Slowly at first, you see just tendrils starting to come up over the edges of the blanket, but more quickly, they start to interlace with each other and they pull her down into the ground. As he finishes his prayer, he looks to you, Ofelia. He said, "She cannot be harmed here, and she will stay safe until I'm able to come back and figure out a way to help her." He tells you, I'm now able to, because she's buried here, I can communicate with her in dreams, and I'm going to stay here tonight in order to do so. Tomorrow, we depart for first Rovigo and then Hadari. We'll find a ship to take us there. We're going to have to travel overland. Prepare anything you need to take with you tonight.
What did you do? Am I able to do that?
He looks to you, he says, I allowed her to rest. She's regaining her strength. The earth is providing it back to her. And I don't know that you can do it now, but you seem different since the last time we saw each other. You seem stronger. And I can't imagine it will take much time before you learn to do this too.
Can I roll an insight check to see what he sounded like as he said this?
Yeah, for sure. What do you mean what he sounded like?
Does he sound afraid? Does he sound curious?
Yeah.
Insight is a dirty 20.
Damn, okay. The tone he was using sounded a little bit confused, but he is staring at you pretty intently. And as he looks away, he looks towards Emmett and Naya nearby, and you can see that there is some level, yes, of apprehension about what it is he's dealing with here, but he doesn't seem afraid of you.
When I see this, I'm going to just say quietly to him, because, you know, he is my family friend and I've known him for a while. I'm gonna kneel down where Yuneza was put down, and I'm gonna just say, I'm just as confused as you are about what's happening.
He pauses when he hears you say this and he says, "We cannot stay confused much longer. Too many things are happening."
That's what it seems like. I'm gonna just stand up again and I'm going to look at him and I'm gonna say, "Where are my parents?"
They're safe. They're in a small town on the northeast side of Lake Air. They've taken false names and they are living a more modest life, but comfortable at least, and away from the prying eyes of the church.
Did they ask for me?
Yes, they did. Your father misses you terribly.
Ophelia's eyes water just a bit. Yeah. I miss him too.
The three of you return to the cabin. We have beds down for the night near where Yunez's body has been entombed in plant life. And the next day, the three of you wordlessly set out from the edge of the world at Clawtip to find the Shrine of Chaos. That was Annette Lee as Ofelia, Ashlyn Sparrow as Naya, and Tegan Mack as Emmett. Sara Brink was the game master. Story editing and sound design by Sara Brink. Oops All Witches is a playtest of the Witch class created for the Wizard, the Witch, and the Wild One, produced by Fortunate Horse. For more information, visit the Worlds Beyond Number Patreon. Oops All Witches is a Dancing Stickman production. If you're enjoying the podcast and you'd like to hear more nerdy content like this, please consider giving us a like and a subscribe. And be sure to tell your friends. Thanks for listening.
How dare you?
Oh gosh.
How dare you? Respectfully, I hate you. Respectfully.
But I'm so cute.
You are.
That's
But
why
those
it's-
things are mutually exclusive.
That's true. That's true.
Just
That was great.
That was cool. I liked that.
Yeah.
Boy, that choice, Ash, to take that corruption on yourself is top notch.